I put out a lot of TikToks,
Yep.
and stuff like that, where I tell men, like, get off your ass, go to the gym. Like, excuses are like assholes. Everyone's got one. I put out a lot of videos like that. A lot of guys do that. There's a lot of motivational speakers that do that. Sure. But in one of your videos, you were saying that that doesn't work for guys like Comic Book Guy, because you could tell them all day long, hey, just do the work, man, get off your butt. Hey, go to the gym, lose some weight. And they won't do it because they have some kind of self-limiting belief that says they can't do it.
It's a little bit deeper than that. It's actually more dangerous than that. It's literally life-threatening.
Yeah.
Kind of goes like this. When you've been in that place, when you've been in that dark, depressive place where life isn't worth living, you kind of want to give up. That's kind of that first step on the road to ending your life. Mm-hmm. Right. And your unconscious mind isn't stupid to recognize that that's where that ends up. Right. So as soon as you start walking down that path, or if you've been in that place a couple times, it's like, okay, now I have to keep you alive, even though you don't want to be. Right. So it now has to protect your life from your conscious mind, because ending your life is a conscious act of will. Right. Mm-hmm. So what it often does is like, okay, you started feeling that when you felt these things about yourself, like you're powerless or you're weak or you're useless or you'll never succeed or whatever the heck it happens to be. So it has to keep you away from that as much as possible. Right. And the mechanism that kind of comes into play is this idea that, okay, if I try and go for the things I really want, like if I really push myself to have these things and I fail, then it proves all that negative stuff I thought about myself is actually true. Like I don't really deserve it. I'm never actually going to have it. Life doesn't actually have anything for me. There's really no reason, right? And if that happens, then you're back in that really dark place that leads you down that path of ending your life. So since failure basically equals death, and trying implies the possibility of failure, you're just not allowed to try. And so you'll come up with any excuse to where, like, if you fail, you've got an excuse for it. It's like, well, I could have lost weight, but cake is delicious. Right. Or I could have gone to the gym, but I had this other stuff to do. Right. You just never really fully allow yourself to go for it, to give yourself an out if you do fail. So you never prove to yourself all that stuff is true. So you never go down that road again. Right. It is literally a self-preservation and a preservation of life thing. Right? Yeah. Back in July of last year, went and did some plant medicines. First time in my life, I actually wanted to be alive that I can remember. Right. I'm like, outstanding. Great to be alive. I'm going to go freaking crush it. Life is going to be amazing.
This was last year, 2021?
This was last July, 2021. July 29th, 2021. First time I can remember feeling that way.
Wow. Okay.
Right. Not a good thing when you're 45 years old having that realization. Not really the best day. But I mean, it was phenomenal because, like, oh crap, like now I do want to be alive. Now I do want to, like, go have this stuff. Right. And so I moved down to DC, moved down to Austin. I'm ready to start my new life. And I find myself kind of sitting around in my apartment with my thumb up butt. And I'm like, what am I doing? So I'm working with a coach and she's asking, like, so why wouldn't you? She's like, well, if I really try and, like, go big and go for what I want and I fail, well, then maybe I don't deserve it after all. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe there isn't really anything in the world for me. I'm like, oh God, dang it. Because I'd recognize that working with a number of clients who've been in that same space. I'm like, God damn, I'm in the same space that they were. So then I had to go do more work to unfuck that piece, to fix that piece of things. Yeah. So that it was actually safe for me to try, to where failure didn't mean I didn't deserve it and it wasn't for me, right? Where it's just, okay, failure is just like a step on the, on the path, right? Once I did that, and then about 2 months of just like self-soothing and like making myself feel good, like now I'm on that road where like things are actually easy, where it's not a struggle to push myself, where like I'm actually allowed to apply all of my talents towards something because now it's not dangerous for me to do so. Got it. Okay. That's interesting. So just although up until last year, even though you've been doing this work by that point about a year and a half, huh? Yeah. And the thing is, like, I wasn't actually allowed to do any of it on myself. Because my subconscious mind was like, I see you and I know all of your tricks. And if I let you do this, you're going to fix things that I don't want you to touch. So you're not allowed to do it. Right. So I had to hire other people to do work for me. Right. And yeah, like I've been making 6 figures. I've been married twice. I had 3 kids. I have a very respectable notch count. From the outside looking in, my life was good. And that was me not really wanting to be alive and just kind of taking things as they came.
What's up, brother? If you like this clip, go back and listen to the full episode. I guarantee you'll love it. Visit my channel. If you haven't done so already, subscribe now. If you prefer to listen to longer episodes in audio format, the podcast is available on all major podcast platforms.